All right, so here is our Conductor doll. And the last thing I need to do with him is help his head be on there really well, because right now it's not exactly straight. So what I'm going to be doing is carving away at this just a little bit, probably removing this this little circle of clay that's right in the center so it's flat again. So I'll just start doing that, adjusting this, carving away at it a little bit to make sure we have a nice fit for the head, and then it's going to be time to start putting together our mold. Alright, so here's how Mr. Conductor's doing. And what I have right now is just a rod that goes in the back from one arm to the other arm, and then I have one down the head. It's going to meet down here somewhere. But I'm not really worried about the mechanics of that. That's kind of more for my client to take care of. But I wanted to be able to make sure it was going to look good in the motion. And so what I want to do now is kind of fix these shoulders a little bit, because like they're a little bit wonky. And so I'm going to be adding in more clay just so this is a nice seal. But here's kind of the idea. Do 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 do. And so he can kind of be leading the music, and there'll be some mechanism in the back of him so he can turn and be leading the music and have his head turning. His head is also the other issue because it's not a clean seal, and so I'm just going to be adding clay along here. I'll just use the Super Sculpting right now, which is going to make it kind of look funny color-wise, but it's going to be the best to just kind of press right in there. But this is how he's coming. It's turning out really nice. And he's almost done. And then we can get to the fun part of casting him in resin after we make a silicone mold for him too. Alright, so here's how his neck is coming. And I was thinking it might be a little bit too long, but then I noticed it might just be that I need to add a little bit more to this ruffle. Because when I do that, then he looks pretty good. As far as like if that was a real ruffle thing up here. So I think he's good, because from the side he looks nice. So I'll just need to smooth all this out, but you can see I just pressed Sculpey clay up into it to help fill in any of the little cracks and stuff. So we are done with the Conductor. Yay, I'm so happy. So nice to have it come to an end. I need to clean it up a little bit from the sanding. But here's what I have going across. It's just this rod that I'll be taking out. And it sits there. The head goes down just like that. And see how the head will turn. Doo, doo, doo. And my client has a way to work a mechanism in the back here, so as music is playing, he'll be leading it and moving his head around and moving his arms around. Okay, and so then one arm goes right here, and the other arm goes right here. Alright, so he's gonna be, watch this. Do, 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 do. And then this arm can do some stuff too. So anyway, there he is. He's turned out pretty well. The trickiest part was getting these arms to sit correctly, and so they didn't extend too far out his back. But like on this one, it looks really good. Alright, so the next step is going to be to mold this piece. And also I filled in this back square a little bit with some extra clay so it wasn't so rough looking. So I kind of smoothed that out a bit. Sanded everything again. He's got a few cracks from being baked so many times, but I've sanded over them so they shouldn't leave a mark. But I've sanded it also, shouldn't leave any marks in the mold once I get that part done as well. So I just used a drill to go right in there and make a hole for this rod to go in and to be able to attach his arms. So that's how he turned out. I did add just a little bit more on his neck right here for this little, I forget what it's called, but his little tie decoration thing. I made it just a little bit larger so it would look better. And I shortened his head, his neck just a little bit because it was just looking way too long to me. But there he is. You can see here is how he's coming along, and it kind of takes a while, but it's important when you're doing a mold.